We just announced there's this new camera, everything's wonderful, and now we're also announcing that there's a new lens. First, I want to tell you about how fancy this little switch over here is and how it has changed the entire industry. I mean, all of a sudden, I am a photographer. Well, hold on. Now I'm a videographer. I'm a photographer. I'm a videographer. You need a photographer? I've got one. I've got a... By the flick of a switch, you can switch seamlessly from stills to video. I mean, everything has changed, and thanks to Canon's innovative designs, and not only Canon, there are others in the industry as well, but I mean, Canon now has this lens, which is a 24 to 105 millimeter f2.8 lens. First off, I thought that is ideal. We now have reached the pinnacle of walkabout lenses for stills. I mean, it's 2.8 glass, it's f2.8. And it's 24 to 105. So if you've got any idea how difficult it is to manufacture that focal length in one body and at that aperture, this is quite impressive. But that's not what's impressive about this lens. What's impressive about this is that they didn't even really have stills in mind with this. This is probably one of the worst lenses that I've used for stills. It is cumbersome, it is big. I thought it was going to be the ideal walkabout lens. It's not bad, but it's a weird size, and my mindset is if I hold something like this, it feels like a 70 to 200, so I'm going to have that reach, not this reach. I didn't know how to, but hold on. Oh, wait. So Canon says, let's bring out a 70 to 200. That's identical in size, weight, balance, everything. So that if you've got this setup and this setup, you can interchange them regardless if you're using a rig or a gimbal or whatever the setup is. These things are interchangeable without affecting your weight balance. So, incredible kit, incredible gear. Love me one of these 70 to 200s, but that's not all. Especially with the term hybrid shooters coming to mind. We've had a look at how the industry has changed in terms of getting kit out for these cameras that can fit onto a gimbal so that it's easy to run and shoot your video, but also transition back into stills where necessary. So the majority of the marketing currently is more focused towards video marketing than it is stills marketing. But with all of that being said, and also mentioning that I don't really love this 24-105 millimeter for stills, it still shoots an incredible shot. Its quality is great. It's sharp. It's everything you need. It's just quite heavy for a 24-105. But it weighs exactly the same as the 70 to 200. So it is a mindset of my own. It's my fault. Now we look at this incredible stuff that Canon has brought out. So Canon said, you know what? Let's get onto cracking down on these prime lenses. And they brought out these little VCM lenses. The 20 millimeter, there's a 24, there's a 35. Love me at 35, love it. There's a 50 millimeter 1.4, and they all are exactly the same size, shape, and weight. So regardless of whether you want to put it on a gimbal or if you're shooting stills or whatever, the weight of these are absolutely beautiful. And if you do decide to go to hybrid shooting and you want to shoot some video, but now you need different focal lengths. And the one thing about primes that's difficult to explain to somebody who hasn't shot primes before. A prime is something that you fall in love with and you can't explain it. There's just a look, feel about these images that is different to a zoom lens. There are options out there on the market that are very similar to primes, but primes have one job and they do it immaculately. That's where the technology on these things are so incredible. But to get to the focus point of everything here is this new baby. That is the RF 85 f1.4 VCM. You now have the ability to get a 20mm and a couple of steps in between at exactly the same size, weight, feel, look, everything. It balances out and it works incredibly. And this has become my favorite new prime lens. I would love to pair this up with a 35mm f1.4, and I believe that it'd give you everything you would need. You've got that slightly wider, kind of like a journalistic look and feel on a 35mm. But if you're into portraits or anything like that, you'll understand how the 85 is just, it's different. It's romantic when it comes to portrait lenses and what it delivers in terms of quality. Now, previously, we had a look at the amazing quality that the 85 1.2 could offer you. I wasn't much of a fan. The EF 85 1.2 had a very high miss ratio. You really had to build up a good relationship with that lens. And there was a bit of a love-hate situation going on there. Then the 85 1.4 came out, EF, and it was a completely new story. It was incredible, it was fast in focus, it was sharp, it was everything you wanted in a portrait lens. And then with the R system, they brought out this bucket of glass. This is an 85 f1.2. It weighs in, without a hood, it weighs in at 124.2 grams. I'm lying.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
It weighs in at 1,242 grams. This is 1.2 kilograms. Imagine a tub of margarine plus some extra on the front of your camera. That's what this weighs. Now we got this VCM. It's sharp, it's perfect, it's fast. It weighs 680 grams. It's literally half the weight. This thing is incredible. It's got the iris lock and obviously the multifunction button or a pre-focus button, whatever you want to set it to. It's got the multifunction ring. It's got a focus ring on it. But the great thing about this iris lock and being able to manually change your aperture, if you've got any motors or anything connected onto this system, you can use it with a nucleus from Tilta and be able to change that on the fly without adjusting on the camera specifically and bumping and adjusting it. But for the stills photographer in me and the clumsy cocktail fingers that I've got, when I'm busy shooting, I keep on adjusting that ring and it changes my aperture, changes my exposure, everything's a mess. What I do have here now is with that iris lock, I lock it into auto, pair it up with a R5 Mark II, and I can just simply run out and run and gun. So we had the incredible opportunity to take this kit out to Comic-Con South Africa, and we just simply ran around here, and it was as easy as settling up, speaking to somebody, offering them a quick shoot, and doing this. Wham, bam, there we go. Quick shots, easy. Flick of a switch, we're back onto video functionality. I'm shooting a quick video here, and bam, 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 there are my stills. What more do you want? It is that easy. It did take some time getting used to the one issue. This does not have image stabilizer. This has in-body image stabilization. So you've got about 3 stops, give or take, that you're going to win there. But at 85mm focal length, that is quite a reach to keep still, especially if you're shooting video. So to make it as easy as possible, I simply just shot high frame rates, slowed it down, got myself settled up. The first couple of times I was trying to move around and do fancy stuff, and we're running and gunning, and it's exciting, man. I'm all over the show. But as soon as we slowed it down and we settled down into a fixed position, I do steady movements with it. This just blew me out of the park. The focusing on it is incredibly fast. It's accurate. It was an absolute pleasure shooting with this 85mm. The stills image quality out of this, corner to corner, is flawless. I can't find any fault on it at the moment. It is a VCM motor in it, voice coil motor. It does help for the focusing system and in terms of using it for video specifically. So once again, we get to that hybrid term. This has been designed for stills and video. You'll find that the majority of marketing will most likely push it towards video. And that brings us to that center point about talking about hybrid shooting. Are you having to run and gun at weddings and shooting stills and video? Boom, here's an 85 for you. No focus issues, no question about the image quality. And what's the next step? Something wider, 35, 24, 20 millimeters. If you're on a gimbal, doesn't matter, you can swap them out. Amarishal hit the review down at the bottom where Raiden assisted us reviewing the RF 50mm, 35 and the 24mm, changing the lenses mid-video to just show how quick and easy it is, that we don't have to recalibrate anything on the gimbals, it just works. So, my one recommendation though on this lens is get into contact with the go-to guys at Outdoorphoto and get your name on the list for one of these. For the price difference between this thing and this thing, I personally would pick one of these 85 1.4s and a 35mm in comparison to the price on that 85 1.2. The 85 1.2, can't fault it too much. It's very dangerous because of the AF 1.2, getting your accuracy, getting the right depth of field on your subject so that both eyes are in focus or both people or whatever. The 1.4 is slightly safer, but man, the weight comparison, the feel, the balance of it, in comparison to what I have on an R5 II with these two lenses, I would highly recommend check this lens out. Get into contact with the go-to guys. Drop us a comment down in the section below and let us know what you think about this. Is this something that you would consider switching to? And where would you use it? Stills or video? Guys, we look forward to hearing back from you guys. I am Lekker and out. So cheers.